This is James Kalm, the guy on the bike, and today we're coming to you from New York's Metropolitan Museum, and we've got a special treat. We're going to pay a visit to a preview of Frank Stella on the roof and Frank Stella painting into architecture. Let's take a look. Great hall. See if we can find the Frank Stella exhibition. So we're outside the Helen and Milton Kimmelman Gallery, and we're going to take a peek at Frank Stella's painting into architecture. This is a huge composite hanging sculpture. Some of the classic Frank Stella paintings. This piece is Centipede 2, 1962. Here's a classic Frank Stella stripe painting. It's Marrakesh, 1964. Fluorescent alkyd on canvas. This large black sculpture is called The Ship, Section 2007, fiberglass and carbon fiber. This piece is called Chinese Pavilion Model 2005, and The Ship 2005. Here's an architectural model. It's called the Gatehouse 2007. You can see that Stella is actually using his sculptural designs and turning them into little shelters or pavilions. It's rather ironic that Stella started out as one of the flattest of flat painters and has actually ended up becoming a sculptor slash architect. This is called Gatehouse Model. And with a little luck, maybe we'll be able to talk to Frank Stella. He's supposed to be here later. I believe this is called Broken Jug. It's actually a very, very wonderfully created piece, using a lot of natural plywood and laminates. This is a study for Broken Jug. It's very interesting to see these little working notes and sketches and lines and notations on the model. This is called The Dart, 1990. These are going to have real videographers here. And here we are at the Met's rooftop garden for a view of Frank Stella on the roof. This piece actually looks like it can be rotated around on a circular track underneath. I believe this is aluminum and fiber composite, maybe some stainless steel. The cream of New York's art critical establishment are all here. I believe this is the China Pavilion sculpture. Otherwise Russian. Maybe it's Portuguese. This really is a treat. New York in springtime. Oh, and here's the artist, Frank Stella.
Models that have the architecture in New York for the background. Yeah, it makes it very sort of New York experience.
And talk about the whole concept. What do you think of the whole concept of exhibiting painting into architecture, the dialogue between art and architecture?
Well, it's not my idea. Take Malevich, for example. The whole drive of modernist art, or certainly abstract art, has been to make abstraction sort of viable in space. So Malevich said literally he wanted to see the surface of his canvas into space. So that's what we're all doing. Well, I don't know. There's always been an interest in building. Right now,
See, the paparazzi are out in force.
You didn't always see that.
And here's Walter Robinson, the man who is as close to being omnipotent on the New York art scene as you can be. Editor-in-chief of Artnet.com. One of the real bright lights of the New York art scene. Could I speak with you for a moment, Mr. Stella? This is Frank Stella. You've been probably one of the greatest advocates of modernism on the New York art scene for years.
Thank you, sir.
What is your feelings regarding postmodernism and the whole idea that modernism has sort of run out of gas, or that people are looking for the next new thing?
Yes, right. Well, I think it's baloney. I mean, modernism is broad, and I think it doesn't. Modernism actually doesn't have a problem, and I don't think there is any postmodernism any more than there was post-cubism. You know, the things that are strong carry it.
It's like survival of the fittest, and if modernism is good, it'll carry on, and if it's not, it'll fall by the wayside.
Oh, that's a nice evolutionary approach. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yes, but it would have to be replaced by something more useful.
Something more useful.
Yeah, which we haven't seen yet, or even any hint.
But pushing it into architecture is making it useful in a way.
Well, I don't know that architecture is habitable. I don't know how useful it is.
Okay. Anyway, thank you very much.
Okay.
Congratulations. It's a fabulous show. This is James Kalm at the Metropolitan Museum for the opening of Frank Stella, Painting into Architecture, and Frank Stella on the Roof. Thanks, Kate.